Hello everyone, my name is Jordan, also known as X-3. Today I'm going to show you guys how to create these deep minimal drums. And here is the demo example of these drums in action, and I'm going to show you how to process them with the return of channel A and B. But for now, listen to how these drums sound in the mix. Okay, so in order to achieve these drums, the first thing you need to be aware of is that we're going to use SupaStars 1.8 gig sample pack. I'll put that in the link below, but for now, I'm going to show you guys how to create those drums. Mosey on over to your drum rack and drop it into your MIDI track. For now, I'm going to go into my deep melodic pack, and I'm going to load up from the drum heads a few sample kicks and snares. So the first kick I'm going to use is kick number 3. I like kick number 4 better because it has more low end. So I'm going to rename this to kick. Okay, cool. So the next thing we're going to need is the clap to go with our cool kick drum. I like this number 3. It sounds more like a real snare drum. Like a real MPC snare drum. Just renaming these because they help me keep track of what I'm doing. So the next thing we're going to need is I'm going to use something a little bit different. I'm going to use a hit. So I'm going to look for a hit that sounds nice. So let me see what's in the progressive pack. I'll use Pro Hit number 2. It sounds like the Glock we used in the that I used in the demo example. So I'm going to rename this as Glock. The final thing I'm going to use are hi-hats and cymbals. So I'm going to look for hi-hats in here since they're just up one folder. I like 3 and 4 since they sound like they could be open hi-hat and closed hi-hat. And that's exactly what I'm going to name these. So I'm going to drop them down here. And I'm going to rename this closed hat and open hat. Okay, if you really want to make things a little bit more dramatic, what I'm going to use is a cymbal. But I noticed that the deep melodic pack has some very nice cymbals, so I'm going to look for a good cymbal in here. I like this number 2, so I'm going to drop it in here. And I'm going to drop it in a blank audio track. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to reverse this track, this sample. I'm going to go back into my MIDI lane and I'm going to drop this sample onto one of the blank open spaces on my drum rack. And I'm going to rename this reverse cymbal. Rev cymbal is for short. And I'm going to rename this cymbal just cymbal. That's not spelled correctly, but whatever. I'm going to delete that audio track. And what I'm going to do now is that we need certain effects for our drum rack. And I'm going to go on over to my snare and I'm going to drop the sustain all the way down to -infinity. And my decay, I'm going to take it somewhere around where it sounds very short. .347 milliseconds should be fine. I'm going to throw up my spread to 50 and I'm going to right click and there should be a option all the way up, third one from the top, called copy value to siblings. It's going to spread this across all of the samples. It's in the Glock and the hat. Okay, so the final thing we're going to do to tidy up everything is we're going to throw on some effects onto our return chain so that way we can get some really cool stuff going. What we need to have for our return chain is that I'm going to throw on a ping pong delay. I'm not going to mess with any of the options. And I'm also going to throw on a compressor and take the threshold down somewhere around -20 or -20.8, somewhere around there. I'm going to take my tack to 0.11 milliseconds. This kind of creates more of a New York soft compression. Okay, so the final thing we gotta do is I'm going to throw on my compressor by copying it and moving on to my B return chain. Now this is very important. I'm going to then throw on my reverb onto my B chain, take the decay time all the way up to 7 seconds. Somewhere around there, and you want your size to be somewhere around 24. The dry wet, you can take it down to about 47%. Now, if we drop in some drums on every fourth, like the 1, the 1-2, the 1-3, and the 1-4. So I'm going to allow this to play, but at a very low volume so that way I can talk with you and guide you through this process. Okay, so one of the aspects that we need to do is that if you can see over here in the corner, I don't know if you can see that, it looks like a library. If you click that, you'll get 3 more options. You'll get the I/O for the in and out. You want to click that, and this will give us a lot of the volume and pan. You want to hit this R button. This will open up a effects chain. So if I right click, I can create a return chain. And I want to create 2 of these. One for the return chain A and the other one for the return chain B. So if we rename these to be ping pong and reverb, this will make things a little bit easier on us. Okay, so finally, make sure your audio out for your ping pong does not go to raw output. That would be outside of here. It would, as you can see, it's coming out through here. We want this to be our ping pong. So make sure it goes to the ping pong and the reverb to the reverb. So I'm going to close this R and I'm going to hit the S, and that's going to bring us our sends and return. This is where you can throw your reverb onto special parts in your drum. So I'm going to throw it on my Glock pretty high. I'm going to take that somewhere around, I don't know, somewhere around negative 3.6 decibels. And for my B, I'm going to take that around somewhere about negative 5.6. Now, if I drop that in the loop, I'm going to stop that. I want to hit that. I'm going to make this a little bit longer, and I'm basically going to copy these drums by doing Command D. And it kind of copied these in a very weird pattern, but I'm still going to allow it to play. And I'm going to drop it right before the 3, my Glock symbol right there. And let's listen to how it sounds. And then that's basically how to build these drums. If you want to make them a little bit fatter, here's what you do. Let me close the I/O, the sends, and the sample themselves. And I'm going to drop on a saturator. This is what really makes the drums super fat. So I'm going to, for the type, we're going to choose a sine fold. The sine fold really gives it a lot of warmth. It's kind of like giving the drum rack a warm, snuggly blanket and a teddy bear to cuddle with. So yeah, that's some very nice warm distortion we can give this drum rack. And I'm also going to right click on the saturator and make sure it's high quality. So that way the Snuggle Bear drum rack can sleep very nicely. So let's listen to this drum sample now. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Time Warp or Tropical Wednesday. And I'm going to show you guys how to create those chords. Those chords kind of sound very, very different. And I'm going to show you guys what they look like when all 3 chords go off. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for another track. Have a good one. Make sure you stay safe and peace. Hey y'all, it's Jordan here. So I wanted to say thank you guys so much for following me, and of course these videos will always come out every single day. I've just been having a little bit of experimentation with a lot of new things today. So I'm going to be really releasing a new song on SoundCloud. I'll put the link in the description below. But otherwise, thanks for following me and thanks for watching these videos. I really do appreciate it. Have a good one, be safe, and of course, share some good news. Sometimes it helps. Anyways, have a good one and peace.